Welcome to Dale's Dominion podcast, where we discuss Virginia real estate and beyond. Here's your host, Dale Shoop.
Welcome to Dale's Dominion, Virginia real estate and beyond, where we dive deep into the world of real estate and title insurance. I'm your host, Dale Shoop, and today we have a special episode that's a little different from our usual real estate discussions. My guest today is Ashley Bellamy, the dynamic owner-operator of Chick-fil-A in Harrisonburg. But Ashley isn't here to talk about fast food. She's joining us to discuss a cause that is close to her heart, the Isaiah 117 House. This is an incredible nonprofit organization that provides a safe and loving environment for children awaiting foster care placement. Ashley is on a mission to bring this exciting initiative to the Shenandoah Valley, and we're honored to have her here to share her journey, insights, and tell us how the community can get involved. So Ashley, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we'll just jump right in. What inspired you to get involved with Isaiah 117 House?
I've always kind of been intrigued by foster care and the people that did foster care. And I think when you decide to be foster parents, your whole family, kids, everybody's got to be on board for that. And I never could get all my people on board at the same time. So when I met Rhonda Paulson, I'm actually originally from Tennessee, and she is from the area that I'm from and is friends with some of our besties that have the Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton, Tennessee. And when I met her, she told me about her mission for the Isaiah 117 House. They had went to be foster parents, and when they went to the training, I think they take you around I've never been to foster care training, so I don't know, but I think they take you around to, different agencies and like a little field trip. And so they took them to the CPS office and they told them, sometimes we don't have immediate placement for children. So if we don't, they stay here at the office with us. And I mean, anybody that hears that is like, huh? And so Rhonda said, she raised her hand and said, hey, wait a minute. What did you just say? And they said, yeah, sometimes they have to spend the night because we don't have immediate placement. Well, her wheels started turning and she thought, well, what if there was a house that they could come to instead? So they got removed from their family and then they're going into foster care, but they come to a home instead of going to the office to sit and wait. So her wheels started turning and the whole Carter County community rallied around them with her idea and all of that. And they opened the Isaiah 117 House. I am not sure with my dates correct, but I swear, I think it was 2017, but I'm not positive. I met her in 2019, and I think the house had been up and running for a couple years, or at least a year. Had been in dream stage since 2017. So when I met her, I said, wow, is there any chance you would expand outside of Tennessee? And she said, no, I will not. Well, then fast forward to 2020, they got to be on a little Facebook show called Returning the Favor with Mike Rowe, who is the Dirty Jobs guy. And they thought that they were just doing like a documentary about it and stuff, telling their story and whatnot. But what they ended up doing was returning the favor, and they helped them with their home office that they have there, the support center. And after that Facebook show went viral. Then COVID happened, but then people started flooding them with emails and, hey, what about this? Could we do this? And so she got to thinking, hey, we've got this sort of figured out. And so wonder if we operate under one nonprofit, Isaiah 117 House, and then have Isaiah 117 House, Rockingham County, Isaiah 117 House, Johnston County, North Carolina. What if we did that? So they opened it up for expansion. I've talked about this since 2019. Like, we need this house. We need this house. On their worst day, who wants to go sit in the office and wait? And what people don't realize is there is never immediate placement. Now, they might have a foster family in mind that would take these children, but they still have to call all the next of kin and see if grandma will take them, or Pop or whoever, and go down the list. So what's happening is if the children are old enough to know, they're sitting and they're listening. So everybody's saying, oh no, we can't. Oh no, we can't. So then worst day keeps getting more worse. I don't know what the right word is. Worser.
Yeah.
So I sent a video in 2023 in September, and like 5 minutes. That's what they ask you to do. Hey, we want to look at your face. We want to see how, and I knew Rhonda a little bit enough. I mean, if she's from Tennessee, she's my people. And so I sent in my video, and they came back to me and said, hey, we got your video. We're going to talk about this, blah, blah, blah. So then the next steps was to kind of form a team. And so I just started asking all my buddies, hey, you be in this with me? And some of them are like all in. Some of them are halfway in. Some of them are a foot in. Some of them are like, yes, keep me posted. I want to help provide support. But we had a Zoom call with them. And she told me, she said, I feel comfortable moving forward with you because I kind of know you. And I think our Zoom call happened in May and I know this because I was on my way to Taylor Swift in Nashville, and I had to Zoom call in the car. So then after that, Greg and my husband, I couldn't ever get him to agree to be a foster daddy, but he said, Isaiah House, I'm in. I'm in for that. In October, we went to the home. We couldn't go to the original house because they were guests there. But we went to the house in Greene County. We went to the house in Washington County. We went to the support center, talked about all those things with them, and then set our date for our expansion kickoff. And that was March 3rd. We had over 94 local people at the expansion kickoff. And then we had our first expansion meeting in April. And we've been doing expansion meetings every third Sunday of the month at 3:00. We had to move places. So now they're at the Family Services building at the CPS office, which is super great. Except for June, it's going to be the fourth Sunday because it's Father's Day on the 3rd. So we want to honor daddies. We just started rolling, and I started talking to people and asking if I could come talk to them about Isaiah House, and anybody that would listen. See people at a party and be like, hey, I got to tell you something. Or out to eat, just happen to run into him. Hey, I've got something to tell you. So just trying to get the word out. I'm realizing it's going to take more than me. So we do have a team, and are trying to get into some community events and things like that. Our next big gig is on Friday, May 31st. We have a Church Connections breakfast, and have invited all the that we knew names of and could find emails to. I actually wasn't getting any bites, and I was like, come on, preachers, I need you. And so I sent a personal email out, and I'm hoping we'll have about 20 to 30 there, which will be super great. That was a long answer to your question.
That's great.
But that's kind of what happened on the worst day.
Yeah.
And so for us, we're thinking, oh, they're getting out of a situation that is unsafe, or is dangerous, or is abusive, or they're not getting the nourishment they need, or whatever. Yes, that is true. But we have to remember that's all they know. So they're leaving the only mom and daddy that they know. Their brothers or sisters sometimes. I mean, they try really hard to keep them together, but that's not always possible. And their dog, their cat, their bed, their toys. And so what happens is they give them a black trash bag and say, put your things in there. One of the other things that we had to do, we had to meet with the CPS office first and say, hey, this is what we want to do. We've been approved for expansion. This is what we want to do. We want to work with you. And is that okay? And they were all like, absolutely. So that has been super amazing because we get to do some great things for them too. And I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But, here you got this black trash bag with stuff that you just grabbed, you didn't even know. And then you're going and waiting in the office. So instead of doing that, they'll call Isaiah House and say, hey, we have guests for you. Then they'll call us, because we'll be volunteers, and they'll say, hey, Ashley and Greg, can you come be the Isaiah House mamas and dads today, because we've got guests coming. So we'll meet them at the house and lavishly love on them on their worst day. Whatever they need, food, a bath, and many times they don't have much. In the Isaiah House, there's a giving room upstairs, and it has all kinds of things, shoes, clothes, pajamas, some toys, toiletries, stuff for teenagers, like sunglasses and hair bows and just fun stuff, lip gloss. And so they get to go shopping. The lady in Greene County, Tennessee, she said, we try to make sure everybody leaves here with 2 pairs of pajamas and 3 outfits and then something special. So then they stay at the home until there's placement. Now, each state has a time limit that they can stay. I'm not sure about what it is in Virginia, but each state has a time. So they don't live there forever. It's just to fill that gap between removal and placement.
Okay. And so I think you talked about like not having what they need and a little bit about sitting there on their worst day and hearing those phone calls. That's probably a little discouraging if they're old enough to be aware. So what other challenges are these kids facing, in that gap of time between when they get removed and until they get a home to go to?
Well, if you think about it, I mean, it's all strangers.
Yeah.
It's all strangers. And so, and if they've told them anything, they've told them not to talk to strangers. So here these strangers are coming and saying, hey, we're taking you away. And I cannot imagine what is going through these little people's minds, even the big people. You got a teenager just thinking, am I going to get to go to my same school? Am I going to get to go to my same friends? Where's my placement going to be? Where am I going? Are they going to be nice to me? I mean, just think about it. It's a big endeavor, and I know we have a lot of money to raise and all that, but I know this house is supposed to be here. No, it is. And so I think that being able to just, hey, come in here. You got a smiley face and some loving arms. And if you got to cry, we're going to cry together. And if you just need me to sit and hold you, I'm gonna. And if you want to play bubbles, we're gonna. If you want to go shoot basketball, let's do it. If you want to play Mario Kart, we're in. If you want to eat Taco Bell, I'll get you Taco Bell. I just think we'll make the worst day a little bit better.
Wow. Are there houses in Virginia yet?
There's one house in Virginia.
Okay.
They opened last July, and it's in Lynchburg.
Okay.
And Russell County, Virginia is approved for expansion, and Washington County, Virginia is approved for expansion, and then us, and then Lynchburg, and then there may be one more. Approved for expansion. Now, Isaiah House they've been doing this for 7 years, and for expansions, and so they kind of said, hey, this is our Sabbath year. We need to rest a little bit. So anybody that has been approved for expansion is moving forward with their expansion, but they're not going to approve any more expansion until 2026. But then everybody that's been approved already can go ahead and move forward.
Okay. So what does something like this mean to the social workers, the welfare folks who are involved in this process?
I don't know any people that work any harder. I mean, I'm telling you, like, not just physically working, but mentally working. I mean, I'm telling you, the things that these social workers see and the things that they put up with, they're the bad guy. They're really not, but they're the ones that came. Hey, you took my kids, and so we get the chance to lighten their load a little bit. So can you imagine, hey, removed, I've got this baby who desperately needs a bath, who I got to hold while I'm doing my work.
Right.
Or I got to bathe them in the drug testing sink at the office. No. So every Isaiah house has an office in it. I try to put it in the center because the CPS worker is the guardian, because they are the child becomes a ward of the state. So they have to be present there. However, you let us play with them. There's cameras in that office so you can see what's going on. Also a window so you can see what's going on. And then you're able to get your work done. So it lightens their load. Also, fully stocked kitchen. Hey, you need coffee? I got you. You like coconut cream in your coffee? I got it. Just a way to lighten their load and then love on them a little bit. One of the best parts, too, is the Isaiah 117 house, at the 17th of every month, they will do something special for the CPS workers. And I just, in our meeting, we just formed a care committee. I mean, because we don't have no money. I mean, and so I formed a care committee, and we're hoping that maybe some businesses, churches, Sunday school classes, whatever, will rally around and say, hey, I'll take the month of October, and it doesn't have to be big. It could just be, hey, we appreciate you. We see you, and we see you. Yeah. We know what you're doing, and we love you for it. So that's super exciting to me. I think that, everybody needs encouragement. Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A, he would say, who needs encouragement? And he would be, what people? And he goes, if you're breathing, you need it. And for so many, a lot of people, their love language isn't words of affirmation. Mine's not. I want acts of service. I mean, you mop my floor, love tank is full. But hey, I still like to be, even though that's not my top love language, I think I still like somebody to look at me and go, hey, go get them, girl. You're doing a good job. Know? So I think everybody can use that. And then the things that they see every day, and then the caseloads that they have. Yeah. Large. So if we can help alleviate some of that, and then provide some, just mental support, I think that goes a long way.
So it sounds like there's a lot of ways this project can support the families and the folks working the system. So if someone sees this and wants to get involved, how can they find you? How can they get involved, support the mission of Isaiah House? So right here in the Shenandoah Valley.
Sure. We have a Facebook page that's Isaiah 117 House, Rockingham County. My email is ashley.bellamy@isaiah117house.com. Make sure you spell Isaiah right, because that is a weird.
I spelled it wrong the first time, too.
I know. You can email me there. Our expansion meeting's the third Sunday of every month, except in June, and it'll be on June 23rd instead. And then we are going to have a big fundraiser in September. We're going to have a luncheon and a dinner. I set big goals because why not? That's just how we roll. My goal is to have 32 or more tables of 8. And dinner is free, lunch is free. You don't have to pay to sponsor a table, none of that. I just need table hosts or captains. That a table host could be a couple. So then that means that you would invite 6 of your besties, or a business could fill a table of 8 people. Just need 8 people sitting at that table that want to hear about the mission of Isaiah and want to rally around this community as we work for this. I've almost lost my mind. I think I'm not in a bad way. At all. I think I have a super great team at Chick-fil-A that the leadership team there, I would put them up against anybody. Many of them have worked with me for a long time, and my mind just goes woo all the time. So I have a lot of vision and a lot of big ideas and a lot of exciting things. I'll admit, one of my faults, my follow through is not that great. And that's why I have people. Because I'll give them my idea, man, and they just take it and run with it. And then they'll come back to me and go, look what we did. And so that is super exciting to me as well. So that enables me to volunteer for this organization because my team is so great at Chick-fil-A. This wasn't my vision. I mean, for Rockingham County, to have a house is my vision, but I'm learning to follow through, and then to get people on board. We need help. And when this house opens, we will need volunteers in lots of capacities, not just to be the volunteer house mom and dad or house moms or whatever for the day when we have guests, but, we will have to make sure that house is clean and it's landscaped and it looks pretty. And we've got all of the clothes in the giving room hung up and categorized by size, and our kitchen is fully stocked, and then we can send the foster families home with 3 freezer meals so that they don't have to worry about cooking. And there's a place for everyone. Kids aren't everybody's thing. I mean, if you got to you got to either love pets and animals or kids. If you don't like either, we might need to have a talk. But, but so many people have so many good skills, organizational skills and all that. We have a website too, that you can find us on the Isaiah House website. And just click Rockingham County, and there's like a volunteer form. Some people filled that out, and I've gotten some really good people that are coming to our expansion meetings just by seeing our Facebook post or things like that.
Wow.
Real quick story. Not too long ago, the lady in Charlottesville that works for CPS reached out to me and say that they had a 16-year-old that was removed. She is a little bit medically fragile, and were we open? And sadly I had to say, no, not yet. We're not, but we're working on it. Augusta is our neighboring county. Shenandoah is our neighboring county. Charlottesville, I can never say Albemarle or whatever you call it, is our neighboring county. If we didn't have a Harrisonburg Rockingham guest, we would take them as well.
Wow.
In hopes that Augusta will have an Isaiah House and Charlottesville will have an Isaiah House,
Sure.
It's super exciting. Every time I talk about it, I get super pumped. And I'm thinking in my mind, how could somebody not jump on board with me? It will take us all. It'll take the whole community rallying around it and supporting it. That's how you can get in touch with me. That was a long answer too.
That's perfect. Thank you. I'm just really impressed by your passion and your energy and excitement about this project. And wow, what a way to just be all in. That's really something. So I'm tempted to ask, do you ever slow down or take a break? You're running running a restaurant and passionate about this project.
If my team wasn't so amazing at Chick-fil-A, it has enabled me at this time in my life to do this. Now, if you had said, Ash, I want you to be the volunteer expansion coordinator for the Isaiah 117 house in 2005 or 2006, I would have been like, I had little babies. We had just opened Chick-fil-A in Harrisonburg. I had a lot going on. So, I think at this time in my life, this is what I was made for. I was made for Chick-fil-A and Isaiah House, and I can talk about them all day. And made to be a mom and a wife too. Those are my two favorite jobs as well. I love my family. I could talk about them all.
Thank you so much for your work to bring Isaiah House to the Shenandoah Valley. That's quite an undertaking. It's a big vision, but it seems like maybe you have the energy for it. So thank you.
We're going to do it.
Yeah. Okay. So how long have you all been here in Harrisonburg?
Yeah. So that is pretty cool. I grew up in East Tennessee and lived there for 24 years. And then my husband, Greg, he got a job in Charleston, South Carolina, which there could be worse places. If anybody's has not been there, you should go. Beautiful, so fun, great food, beach, amazing. We lived there for 3 years. We just wanted to do a business where we could impact people's lives and didn't want to be in the ministry because we just didn't. And I had worked at Chick-fil-A when I was 15 until I was 22. And I just loved it. And at the time that Greg was going to apply, and he was like, Ash, I just don't know. He said, you have the background. You're a woman. I mean, we're the few, the proud Chick-fil-A operators. There's not many of us. He said, why don't you do it? He said, I'll follow you anywhere and I'll work with you. And I was like, okay. So we started the application process and the interview process. And so I went to Chick-fil-A school. Greg Bellamy packed up our house in Charleston that was so precious and we loved it so much, and moved us to Mechanicsville, Virginia. And we had the store in Virginia Center Commons Mall. We took over August 1st, 2001. I had a little baby that she was going to turn 1 in November, and then Greg and I. And my son Ben was born in 2004, and then Harrisonburg came up for Chick-fil-A. And so in 2005, I applied for an additional opportunity in Harrisonburg, Virginia, where I knew not one person. And so we applied, and they picked us, and it was a gift. all over again. And so we moved here December 2005, and we opened Chick-fil-A January 26, 2006. So that was 18 years ago. We turned
Wow.
18 this year. So we've lived, I mean, we call this, I love this community. It reminds me
Yeah.
a lot of home, of Tennessee. And I mean, I love Tennessee too. I still will always love them. Go Vols. So, but yeah, so that's what brought us here. Chick-fil-A, little
All
chicken
right.
restaurant brought us here. We were open for 5 days in January before the end of the month. Not counting Sundays, 5 business days. And in those 5 business days, we did more in sales than we did in a whole month at the mall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I am forever thankful. I have the best team, and I'm hoping, that we'll be able to build the best team at for Isaiah House as well. Not only in volunteers, but in paid positions. They'll end up being there's usually 3 paid positions for Isaiah
Okay.
117 House: a location leader,
Mhm.
and then they have somebody that's over the volunteers, and that's a part-time position, and then somebody that is basically an assistant, assists them with all of that, and goes to events, and they all go to events and things like that. So I'm hoping we'll be able to build a great team. A lot of times the volunteer expansion coordinator ends up being the location leader, but they knew that going in that wasn't going to happen with me. I
Okay.
said I will volunteer, but I'm not. I got a chicken business to run, and hopefully after September we'll be looking to hire somebody for location leader that will come alongside me, and I will kind of ease the reins to them, and
Excellent.
for talking and spreading the word.
Okay. As we wrap it up here, I always ask folks about some of their favorite local spots here in town, maybe to grab a beer, or who's got the best burger in town.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay. Best burger in town. I do like me some Jack Browns and Billy Jacks. Yeah,
yep.
but best kept secret in town is the Gold Crown Billiards. That's the best burger in town.
Okay.
Not gonna lie. They have a lot of people. They are a pool hall, but a lot of people don't know they have live music on Friday night. It's super fun. But the Beretta burger is my favorite. That one has hamburger and jalapeno peppers, hot pepper jelly, and cream cheese. So
Wow.
good. And then they have these chips, and then their ranch is really good too.
All right. Well, thank you, Ashley, so much for your time today and for sharing your vision for Isaiah House. I'm grateful and happy to help spread the word.
Amazing. Thank you for having me, and it was
Sure.
my pleasure.
Okay. Well, take good care.
All right. Thank you.